Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm your host, Daya Naef, and we have with us today Sammy Basu, who is a CISO or CISO, I've heard it said, and also an author. So he's going to be telling us about his book and how this whole internet security stuff really affects all of us, and we should be paying attention. So Sammy, just tell us about yourself and take it away.
Awesome. So I work in cybersecurity, and my job is to make sure my clients don't get hacked. And I started my business 5 years ago. Before that, I worked for Fortune 100 companies for 20 years. So I have seen cybersecurity inside out, outside in, worked in silos, in complete ownership. And my conclusion about cybersecurity is that whatever we are doing is not fully working as expected, right? You know that you hear about a security breach almost every other day. It's just like a weather report. What's the breach for today? But then if you go to a security conference, there are thousands of security vendors. The government is investing billions of dollars into it, but information is still getting stolen by criminals and by nation states. So it's a serious problem, but I think we are not approaching it properly. We are chasing the symptoms, not resolving the root causes. So this is my book. Just a little plug, CISO Wisdom, Cybersecurity Untangled. So I've tried to untangle cybersecurity. Do you have any questions before I continue?
Yeah, I love that. I like the analogy of untangling it. It's such a simple and straightforward title. I was wondering what the tagline was going to be. And that makes a lot of sense. And for our listeners, we will have a link to the book in the show notes. And I 100% understand, like you said, it's like the weather report, the breach report. And I mean, I don't know, once a month I get one of those letters in the mail that says, we've been breached. We're going to give you XYZ Experian or whatever protection. And I'm like, well, if the horse is out of the barn, what is this going to do?
Exactly.
And so really, I mean, like, what can we do?
So that's the other part of the problem. Companies are not taking ownership. You're trusting the company with your personal data, your identity, which is stolen by criminals and then sold on the dark web and used for malicious purposes. Like, we know people's lifetime savings are getting lost. And I have this conversation with my dad. He's like, who's going to hack me? I'm like,
Doesn't matter.
It's like that quote from Seinfeld when George was trying to break up with someone. It's like, it's not you, it's me. So the point is, it's not personal. For criminals, it's a business. And the kind of conclusions I've drawn from in the book is, have you read the book called Atomic Habits by James Clear?
Excellent book.
Excellent book. So it talks about life is how you handle the boring stuff.
Yeah.
So in cybersecurity, we are not doing the boring stuff because we all want to be Mr. Robot.
Okay.
And I have analyzed all the security breaches in the last few years, and I have identified the root causes. Always a simple entry point, like 90% of the attacks are because of human error, lack of negligence, or lack of awareness. There are 10% of attacks that are launched by nation states that are crafted in research labs, and those are really hard to fight for. But the normal organizations are not targets of those nation state attacks. Normal organizations, if they do the boring stuff, they can handle it. Now, why don't they do the boring stuff? Two reasons. One is if you're a smaller organization, you don't have the resources. And the second is if you're a bigger organization, right? So then you're kind of driven by your personal ambition, wherein you want to do the cool stuff, so you get promoted. There are politics. There is no sharing of information. I mean, I might be speaking from my personal experience, but I feel like we are chasing the cool, shiny toy every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
Tell me
Like
what
you said,
you do. Do you see us?
Absolutely. I mean, this is totally the boring stuff. And it's like compliance. Like people want to go, they're running their business. And so they're thinking about sales and they're thinking about marketing and they're thinking about all this. They're not thinking about filing their taxes. They're not thinking about covering their, writing their
Yeah.
HR policy. They're not thinking about this. And they think that because they're small, they're not targets. But
Mm,
I've heard the analogy that, like, if my job is a burglar, I'm going to walk around the neighborhood at night and check the car doors and check for open windows. I don't care. Whatever's in that car or in that house is good for me. And so that's what it is. If I leave my doors unlocked, then I'm going to get a burglar, even if I only have junk for them to steal. It doesn't matter.
you hit the nail on the head. That is absolutely one of the root causes. There is motivational difference, between the defenders who are either ignoring it or trying to do the fancy stuff, which makes them look smart. Whereas the burglars, they just want to steal. They don't care if the car door is open. I will go for that car door instead of trying to hack like the latest and greatest Tesla through some wireless hack because it's money invest, time and money. If I can hack 10 companies that are not secured, address the low hanging fruits, why should I focus all my time and energy on bigger, well prepared organizations? So that's why if organizations kind of beef up, do the basics well, like lock your car door and, don't
The
keep
alarm.
the, yeah,
Don't
that
keep
is
the key
it.
under the mat. So this makes a really good point. So most of my audience is on the smaller size, small
Mm.
companies, small law firms, and it sounds like this is like the ideal targets. Like where do we start?
Great question. Where you start, I can tell you where you should not start, but where most companies start. So most companies, and I face this every day, is like they think they know. Like I don't know social media, but I think I know, which makes me dangerous, right? So they think they know cybersecurity and they're like, I just want you to tell me which tool to use. Should I use tool A and tool B? Should I use this antivirus? Should I buy this firewall? No. What you are doing is you are taking a solution based approach, like what's out there in the market, and I will pick what they're selling. First, you have to identify your requirements because your requirements are based on how you conduct business. So then, if you're sending emails, maybe that's an entry point for attackers. If you're sharing documents, that's an entry point. If you're storing personal information, that's what the attackers are going to go for. Then you see where they're stored, who has access to it, and let's start locking it down. You don't need to buy the fancy tools. You can do it with native tools and basic practices. So yeah, sometimes it's a disappointment, but yeah, I mean, we all practice the same thing.
Yeah, so it's the hard work and the soul searching versus the buy the new fancy thing that says it's going to fix everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is this some of the stuff that you approach in your book, or do you have a newsletter? Like, where can we get some good information from you?
Yeah. So I do have a LinkedIn page and a YouTube channel. I'm not good at social media, so I'm trying to hire someone to do social media. I wrote this book end of last year. I haven't promoted it, but yeah, follow me on carefulsecurity.com, follow our LinkedIn and YouTube, and we promise that we'll send you valuable content. We also have a subscribe to the newsletter on the website. So
That would be great. That would be great. I'm definitely going to do that. It's definitely the things that you hear and you're like, I'm going to do this later. That may be something that's like that I could do immediately today and save. It could be just a quick fix. I had this story that I used to tell. I used to have this older car, and I went all summer with the air conditioner broken because I thought it was going to be so expensive. And then when I finally took it in at the end of the summer, miserable Alabama summer, it was just a crimp in the line, and the guy charged me $10 to fix it.
that's a great story. What kind of analogy do you draw with that story?
Just the fear. It was just the fear of the unknown, the fear of oh, this is going to be expensive. I hear this for people that need to talk to lawyers as well. They're like, oh, a lawyer's going to charge me an arm and a leg. And I'm like, most lawyers I know just don't charge for the first brief consultation, at least just to let you know if you have a case. And so really, I think the analogy is just like take action, do something.
That's a great story. I think I'll put it in my next newsletter.
You're welcome to it. You're welcome to it. All right. So the listeners out there, Sammy's information will be in the show notes. I hope you do start subscribing to his newsletter and reach out, immediately if this is something you are ready to do.
Yeah.
Thank you
The
for
cost
coming on.
to fix your air conditioner.
Yeah. It could be very simple. Go ahead.
Good. Yeah. Thank you so much. This was great.
All right, everybody, like and subscribe and stay tuned.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.